Some people think woodworking is about force, about bending a piece of timber to your will, but it's not. It's about listening to the wood, understanding its grain, its history, its truth. I've built my life on that principle, first as a craftsman with sawdust in my veins, and later as the man they called when a workshop was on the brink of collapse. That's how I found myself at the Artisans Guild, or what was left of it. It was a ghost, a cavernous space that smelled of debt and decay instead of cedar and walnut. The parent company had gutted the staff from 50 down to a skeleton crew of 3, hoping for a miracle. I was that miracle. The task was simple: make the guild profitable again or board it up for good. We made bespoke furniture, the kind of pieces that become family heirlooms, but our processes were ancient and our ledgers were bleeding red ink. In those early days of the rebuild, I hired a man named Marcus. He had a firm handshake and a decent resume, good with a sander and competent with a stain brush. For the next 2 years, I poured every ounce of my soul into the guild. I tore down the old, inefficient workflows and designed new ones. I convinced the board to invest in a state-of-the-art 5-axis router that could execute designs with a precision that was almost poetic. We grew, we thrived, and soon the scent of freshly cut cherry wood was thick in the air again, a sweet perfume of success. The only problem was Marcus. He was fine. He never came in late, he never caused trouble, but his work had no soul. His dovetails were never quite flush, his finishes had a habit of clouding under the wrong light. He could follow a plan, but he could never, ever create one. In a workshop built on mastery, average wasn't good enough. I sat him down and was honest. I gave him 2 months, a generous runway to find something new. I promised a good reference for the things he did well, but I made it clear I couldn't lie about his weaknesses. He took it professionally, and his work didn't slip, not that there was much to slip from. He ended up landing a job at Elysian Interiors, a major design firm we partnered with. He didn't ask for that reference. I was glad for him. Years went by. The guild was a well-oiled machine, a testament to truth in craftsmanship. I flew out to meet with our contacts at Elysian Interiors to discuss a new product line. As I walked into their gleaming, minimalist office, a man stepped forward to greet me alongside their lead designer. It was Marcus. He was smiling that same confident smile. We shook hands, a quick and hollow ritual. Then the lead designer, a man named Charles, clapped Marcus on the shoulder. He told me how incredibly lucky I must have been to have had Marcus at the guild. He went on and on, listing the transformative changes Marcus had single-handedly brought to their procurement process, how he'd streamlined everything and gotten them out of a terrible mess. I felt the blood drain from my face. Every single thing he listed, every innovation, every difficult decision was mine. It was my work, my vision, my sweat. As an afterthought, Charles added, "Of course, Leo helped a little, I'm sure." I stood there speechless, a cold fire igniting in my chest. All I could manage was a tight smile and a quiet, "Well, I'm glad Marcus found a good fit." I buried the betrayal deep. I moved on from the guild a few years later, leaving it in the capable hands of Clara, a brilliant manager I had mentored myself. I remained friends with her, proud of the legacy we had built. Then one Tuesday afternoon, my phone rang. It was Clara. Her voice was excited. She told me they were about to fill a major executive role, someone to oversee all production and design. An incredible candidate had applied, a man with a deep, intimate knowledge of the guild's turnaround, a man named Marcus. He had apparently lost his job at the design firm. Clara said his resume was breathtaking. He claimed credit for the 5-axis router investment. He told them he personally redesigned the entire workflow. He was taking credit for my whole life's work, and she was ready to hire him on the spot. She just had one question for me since we had worked together. She asked, "Is he really that good?" A slow, patient smile spread across my face. I took a deep breath, the way you do before making a final, critical cut in a priceless piece of wood. And then, calmly and precisely, I told her the truth. I told her about the cloudy finishes and the joints that never quite fit. I told her about the 2 months' notice and the reference he never asked for. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The truth, like good timber, has its own weight and strength. I didn't hear back from Clara for a day. Then a simple text message appeared on my screen. "Decision made, thanks for the guidance." Marcus did not get the job. Some people call that revenge. I call it craftsmanship. You just have to be patient enough to let the truth reveal its grain.